Hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Today I want to do a color along from Sunlife Drawings' brand new book, the One Color Animal Stencils book. This is a color along, a collaborative between myself, Color Creatively, and Zoe Archer, and I will leave their links down below in the description as well as a link to this book. I will also link the particular gel pens that I am using in this coloring today. This has become my favorite lately. These are the Color Technique gel pens. This is a set of 80. They do have, I believe it's a set of 50, and I'll leave links to everything down below. I do also have my handy dandy set of refills here because I know I'm going to run out. I was smart, and ahead of time I did pull out the refills to the two pens that I'm going to be using. So I decided that I wanted to color in the snake. I already did a flip through of this book, and that video will be up before we start this one. This is the snake, and I decided I am going to color the shapes in dark purple, and then the background in a light pink color. When I do these, I like to color in the shapes in a dark color first, and then the background in a light color is much easier to fill in then. If you go over the line a little bit into the dark color, you're not going to see it. So that's typically why I do it that way. Now with gel pens, with me being right-handed, I do have to start on the left and kind of work my way to the right, just because I don't want to get my, hand into the ink and smear it all. So my remote is not working at the moment, so I am just going to bring the camera down to see a little bit more clearly what I am coloring. So we're going to start at the tail. I hope this is close enough for you. Camera is kind of in my face now with doing it this way. So I'm having to manually start my camera and, well, my phone and shut it off. So I also have to manually zoom, if you want to call it that, by bringing my phone down closer to my picture, so it's not right in front of my face, but kind of close. Now when I color these shapes in, I typically have to adjust my book so that I can color it in easier. So if I flip the book around on you, I apologize. Don't want to make anybody sick. I know Zoe Archer right now is coloring out of this book too. I seen the beginning of her part 1. I think she's going to have a couple parts to that color along. So you can go watch hers too if you haven't already. And she is coloring hers with marker. I'm not quite sure of the brand. It's probably her Statler 326s because I know she loves them. I think it's 326, isn't it? And those look really nice. I am getting a set of those because I wanted to try them out too. So I think I'm getting them next week sometime. So I will be trying them out on a picture, whether it's a mandala, maybe something out of here. Our Sunlife drawing month of February is almost to a close. Can't believe it is going to be March already. Didn't it just seem like yesterday was Christmas? Okay, not quite yesterday, but very close. I am hoping at this angle you can kind of still see okay. I always worry that my hand is in front of where I'm coloring and you can't see. Not that you're probably really watching me color anyhow. Most coloring chats, like I've said in past coloring chats or color-alongs, you typically have your own picture out and you're in your own little world coloring and you're just listening to us chat about this, that, and the other thing. What's going on in our world. So yes, how is everybody? I am doing well. We have hunkered down for the weekend because we are in the midst of a blizzard right now. I think the snow has kind of let up finally, but now we have the winds. And they are just a howling out there. It is drifting so horrible. Here by my patio door, I have probably a good, I would say a good 4 to 5 foot drift across the entire back of the house. And in the front, there is a drift that is as high as the roof of the car. Oh, Lord. And the winds throughout the day are supposed to be gusting up to like between 40 and 50 mile an hour winds. So that is not going to help situation at all. When you have, you know, this much snow on the ground already, and then we got about 3/4 of a foot between yesterday and last night, and this morning a little bit. That creates a lot of blowing and drifting of snow. North of us, they really got hit. They got over a foot, 1.5 feet of snow again. We are so done with winter around here. Bob went out to shovel a little bit, and now I can hear he's getting the snow blower out. He wanted to get ahead of it a little bit because the plow came through and closed in the end of the driveway really good. It's probably a good, oh gosh, I would say probably 4 feet of snow down in the end of the driveway again. So hopefully after he gets that open, it won't drift shut too terribly bad. I mean, yeah, I imagine the snowplow is going to come through probably later tonight again, but it shouldn't be as bad as this initial one. If those winds would calm down, oh my heavens. It is just howling up here. And being on the top of the hill up here, it makes it even worse, it seems. Oh yeah, he's got the snow blower out. I always kind of like watching him do that. Told him he should put a scarf or something around his face, that, you know, so he doesn't get all that snow blowing back at him with these winds blowing so hard. But he always dresses up really warm in a snowmobile suit and hood and big warm thick gloves. And, I mean, so he's bundled up pretty good. Matter of fact, when he's shoveling, he gets too hot. Bless him for, you know, doing this all the time. Because I know I wouldn't be able to, especially this heavy, wet snow. Because the thing that made it all that much worse was the fact that when this all started, it was not snow. It came down as sleet and freezing rain. So we got quite a bit of ice first, and then all this snow on top of it. So yeah, under all this snow now is ice. That makes for some very slippery conditions. ice, then a bunch of snow, then wind on top of it with the snow. So yeah, it's a nasty storm, and I know it's making its way east. So I had heard last night that California, wrong coast, New York is supposed to, once this hits out there, they can get hurricane force winds from this storm. Upwards of 70-mile-an-hour gusts. That is just crazy. I've never heard of, you know, other than in a hurricane, I've never heard of even gusts getting up to 70, 75 mile an hour. That is just unreal. Not sure when that's supposed to hit out there, but for any of yous out on the East Coast, stay safe. And I also heard that there were tornadoes down south yesterday, so I hope none of you were affected by that either. I'm not sure how far we'll get with little Mr. Sneaky here today, or in this part, I should say. If we will get the purple all done in this first color along, and then the pink done in another. All depends upon if I run out of things to talk about. Hate when you're doing a color and chat or color along and you run out of things to talk about. Bella's in the living room just staring out at Dad. And I'm in here recording, so she's sitting in there by herself, and she hates that. She hates being alone. Because the spoiled little princess isn't alone too often, with me watching my grandkids during the day all week long and stuff. I'm home with her the majority of the time. The only time I really leave is on Fridays, if I don't have Maddie, to, you know, go to the credit union, run some errands, get groceries, things like that. So she has Mom all day long, and then Bob gets here like, you know, around 3-ish. So then he's here. So yeah, she's not by herself too often. We went out to eat on Friday. If I don't have Jaden on Fridays, then we like to go out to eat on Fridays. Usually I have him on Friday after school, but not this particular week. So we went out to eat on Friday. Otherwise, we'll sometimes go out to eat then on Saturdays. And so poor little Miss Bella is home alone for a few hours. Oh. And then earlier in the day when I left to go to town, she was home for a couple hours again, that poor dog. She doesn't know how good she has it, because many houses, you know, both people work, and so the dog or pet, what have you, is home alone for, you know, 8 to 9 hours a day. And sometimes crated for that long, which I hate to think of that. You know, to have an animal in a crate for that many hours a day. I know in some situations it has to be done, but okay, Lisa won't think about that. I am a huge animal lover, and I can't even watch these shows that Bob likes to watch on PBS, the nature shows and things like that, because sometimes there's, and I know it's survival of the fittest, and I know the cheetah's gotta live, and I know there has to be killing in nature, but I can't stand to watch it. You know, or some of these, you know, for some reason or another, the baby lion or tiger, or sometimes the monkey will die. And no, I cannot watch them. I either, if he has it on, I will plug in my earphones and watch YouTube, or I have to go in the other room. I'll come in here and record or do something, because I can't. If I see an animal abuse story on Facebook, or they're talking about it even on the news, I have to zip right past that on Facebook, and I will either turn the channel, or I have to mute the volume when it is on TV, because I cannot listen to it. It breaks my heart. You know, even to think about the deer around here with this horrible, horrible winter we're having, and all the deep snow, and then the cold, and, you know, it's like, how are they surviving? Oh, now I got that on my brain. I gotta quit. Must quit. 'Cause, yeah, it just... And I'm sure many of you out there are the same. I doubt it's just me, because I hear so many of you other, well, not only colorists that have YouTube channels, but some of you subscribers, you'll make comments to me about your pets. And you are obviously animal lovers too. And so I can imagine those types of stories bother you just as much as they bother me. It's just heartbreaking sometimes. There have been so many stories around here lately of animal services going in and rescuing dogs and other pets, where there's like, you know, 70-some dogs at a residence, because they've been hoarding all these animals. And so then there's an overabundance of these animals at the shelters, you know, trying to find homes for them all. Scrambling for food and supplies to keep them all at the shelter. It's just a sad situation. And yeah, that I'm sure happens all over the country. Okay, let's get on some brighter subjects. Wow, that was really dark, wasn't it? Didn't mean to take such a dark note. How did I get off on that? I know, started with Bella. My poor neglected dog. Yeah, she's got it made around here. Which is exactly how I want it. Those of us who have pets, yeah, they're part of our families, right? They're right up there with our children. Maybe not quite on the same level if you have kids, but, you know, I've heard those that don't have kids, those pets are their kids. You see some that, you know, they have all kinds of outfits for their doggies, and, you know, these little purses that they put their little toy dogs in. I don't think I would ever put Bella through that. She is a small dog, but I don't think she would tolerate that. I did when I first got her. I had a Christmas sweater for her to wear. She wore it, but she wasn't real keen on it. Then there was a little jingle bell collar I had on her. She didn't mind that so much, but she didn't really care for the sweater. That's why I know in, you know, winter, even when it's this bitterly cold out, that she would not wear booties on her feet. I wish she would, because when it is so cold out, even when it's way below 0, she can't just go out and pee right away. Although, sometimes she'll do that, but if she's got to go poop, no, she's got to hunt around and hunt around and hunt around. And she's freezing her poor little tootsies off. She can't even stand on them, you know. She'll be pooping on one leg. Okay, not one. But she'll always have one of the rear ones up in the air because she can't stand on it because it's so cold. Feels so bad. But yeah, I know she would never keep little doggy booties on. So, how is the weather in your neck of the woods? Are you getting bad weather too? I was watching the Weather Channel, excuse me, last night, and they were talking about how the weather is so bad this winter because, like other years in the past when we've had bad weather, it is an El Nino year. And I believe that's when it's coming up from, oh, I always forget which ocean is which. What is the ocean up in California? Excuse me. I can never remember, Pacific or Atlantic. But I believe it's coming down from the, or up, I should say, from the southern ocean off California is the El Nino effect. Isn't there another one too? There's El Nino and there's, what's the other one? Thought there was another one. Maybe not. But they said that that is what is, again, affecting our weather this winter. And why it is being such a bad one. I know other years we've, you know, had a little bit bad weather, bad winters because of the El Nino. But boy, I don't remember it being this bad. We have broken so many records this year. Because now, especially with this last storm, we have completely smashed the record for most amount of snow within a month. And we are supposed to get a little bit more snow this week yet before February ends. And February is a short month. Oh. So, yeah, it's just been something. Like I said, I know, you know, it's definitely not just around here. The whole country has had horrible weather. I have such a tickle in my throat that I can't get rid of. I do have to learn to bring, when I record, I have to learn to bring something along over here to suck on, a piece of candy or something. If it gets too bad, I'll just have to pause this video and go cough till I'm done and come back rather than coughing in your ear. How rude. Has anybody gotten this book yet? I know I just received my copy a few days ago. Let's see, today's Sunday. Was it Friday? Thursday or Friday? I think it was Friday. I don't know. One day is just kind of running into the next. If so, are you coloring along? Don't have to be doing this picture. You can be doing any picture you want out of here. Or are you coloring out of any other Sunlife drawing book? I realize not everybody is going to have this book yet because it is brand new. It's a fun one though. I like it. was really curious to see what their book was going to be about, because I had, where am I? Okay, there we go. It was going to be kind of different than their other books, so I was, yeah, really curious to see and receive this book to see what it exactly entailed. And you can, again, color this pretty much however you want. 1 color, 2 color, bunch of colors, 100 colors. No, that would be fun, huh? Not. I don't think I would like that. Would be a very colorful picture. Okay. Now, because I don't want to get, well, maybe we can just turn it sideways. Because again, with gel pen, you have to be aware of which direction you're coloring and which way you're going so you don't smear the gel ink. The one downside to coloring with gel pen, I just really like them because you can get into such tight corners, which I know you can with marker too, but I just seem to have so much more control and better coverage with gel pens. Maybe it's because I am just so familiar and have done so much coloring with the gel pens. I know many other of you probably feel the exact same way I do, but about markers or pencils or whatever medium you use the most. I think we all have our favorites, and so some are really into watercolor. That is one area I have not played around with much at all yet, and I intend to. I have colored a bit in the past with my ink pencils, and I just love those. I have not, however, played much with my Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, so I want to get those out. And then the other watercolor mediums, like the Zig water brushes and the Arteza watercolor brush pens. So I want to get those all out and we can play with some watercoloring. I had planned, it was on my to-do list. Anne beat me to it. She just put up a video, I think it was yesterday, and she was showing 2 different gessos that you can prep a coloring page with, and then you can better blend and shade on that paper. The purposes that I was trying to use that for was so that you could use alcohol markers in dual-sided books, was my initial thought. But then I was thinking, if you put this prep on, would you be able to more easily blend? Would you be able to use other mediums together that you typically wouldn't, or you know, that it would be easier to use things together, say, I don't know, watercolor and pencil, or you know, even marker and pencil. All those 2 play together real well already. But I have a total of 7 different brands of gesso, and I have already in the past played with some. Well, most, I should say. And there were some that worked out well, and there were some that did not work at all for me. Not saying, you know, like Anne said, not saying that because they don't work for us, that they, you know, don't work for anybody. Because there are some of these that many people use. So that is one video that I want to record in the near future. I did get re-recorded this morning because I again had some kind of problem. I recorded part 1 of my little mini series on diamond painting last night, and I don't know, I didn't notice it at the time, of course, but my phone for some reason was recording, and then it would stop, and then it would pick up again 5 minutes later, record for a while, and it would stop. And I don't know, the only thing I can think of is that because I had a lot of stuff on my desk in regard to tools and things that I wanted to show you that were diamond painting related. So I had my desk full of stuff. And so as I was rifling through that, I'm wondering if I didn't hit the remote and it, you know, shut off the camera. I don't know. I still find that hard to believe too, because I have to press pretty hard on it in order to turn it off or turn it on. But that is the only explanation that I came up with how it can turn itself off and then start recording again. So there were pieces and parts that were all missing, so it's like, this is not salvageable. No, it would be harder for me to piece in parts, and you know, there were pieces missing, and nah. Nope, nope, nope. So before I could record anything else today, and I am recording a number of these videos on Sunday. What is today? February what? I don't know. Like I said, I lose track of days. Must be 25th? 24th? I don't know. Anyhow, I had to re-record that diamond painting video from start to finish before I could continue on with these other videos that I wanted to get done all today, so that I had videos to put up during the week. And I was working on some yesterday. Well, the diamond painting one, I was getting prepped for that one, and so I really didn't get, you know, Saturdays typically are my days to get a bunch of recording done between Friday and Saturday. Well, I did not get many videos done, and that's why I am recording a number of them today on Sunday. Sundays are typically my cooking day and cleaning day, but now with us going out to eat on Friday, I made our big meal yesterday, so I don't have to make it today. And that turned out really good. I think I was talking about it in my last color and chat, maybe my last color along. I was making split pea soup and ham in the slow cooker. Let it cook all day. Cut up some, dice up, you know, some small, into small squares, some carrots and potatoes, some celery, a little bit of onion. Dice up the ham, because I use this ham that Bob got from work at Christmas time, and it was still in the freezer. So it is a spiral cut ham, which makes it a little bit easier to cut up in some respects, and then harder in others, because you have to try to cut along the line that the spiral ham is cut, and yeah, it don't always work out that way, especially when you can't cut straight like me. I could never cut stuff straight. try to cut a piece of cheese off and or sausage off a roll and stuff. It's never even. I always seem to go thicker at the bottom. So, but we made it work. So yeah, cut up a bunch of ham in there. Oh, it was so good. When it was cold and windy and snowing outside, we had a good, nice, warm, filling supper. And I'm making myself hungry again. Why do I always do that when I record? I start talking about food. It is almost lunchtime when I started recording this, so that wasn't smart thinking on my part. But I wanted to get part 1 made, and then after lunch get part 2 to this made. If I do not finish this purple part of the picture in a timely fashion, I may just finish it off screen, and then we'll pick up in part 2 with the pink background. Because this purple typically takes longer than the lighter colored background. I should be able to do the entire background on screen. So I wanted to do the whole thing on camera, so we'll see. We shall see how it goes. Just take it a little bit at a time here. If you're not coloring out of Sunlife drawing books, what are you coloring and what with? Love hearing from you guys as far as what you're doing, how your day is going. I do. I read every single one of my comments and I reply back, or at least give you a heart. If the comment doesn't require a reply. And I love reading through your comments. And I see I missed the inner circles here. And off screen. So what is your favorite color medium of choice? I may have asked this already. And I'm sure I asked it in a previous video. As you can tell, I am a gel pen gal, but I am really getting into markers. Alcohol markers. I'm not a big fan of the water-based markers. But I do want to try out those Stattlers for, well, specifically almost kind of in these Sunlife drawing books. And maybe some pattern books, you know, where there's smaller patterns, smaller designs. Nothing too big because, yeah, then, I don't know, I have a tendency of, you know, really getting lines, or if I go over too much, it starts peeling up the paper. So yeah, typically me and water-based markers do not get along really well. And that's why I do not have very many of them. But we will give these Stattlers a try. And if it is something that I really do not like, I know there are a lot of others of you that do like the water-based markers, and so I will include them in a future giveaway. I had looked, when was it, yesterday? And I hit 600 subscribers. I was just ecstatic. I'm like, oh my gosh. You guys are just all so awesome. You are just making my day. My channel is just growing so much faster than I ever dreamed that it was going to. I didn't, you know, when I started this, I thought, oh my gosh, you know, if I get 50 people subscribed to me, I am just going to be over the moon. because I couldn't imagine people wanting to watch me. You know, and in the beginning, I was just so flippin' nervous. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would just, before the camera was even on, I would start shaking because I was so nervous. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should be doing this. I am not a person that likes to talk in front of people. I have never been that type of person. I am quieter until you get to know me and I get to know you. Then yeah, then watch out. But I'm still not a big people person. Well, I shouldn't say that. I can be, again, I guess if I'm around people I know, but I'm such a big homebody that, you know, I have so much around here that I enjoy doing, that I love doing, and that now includes making my YouTube videos. I've just been having such a good time with this and with all of you when I get to go in and I read comments that you guys have left me. And then, of course, I love doing my coloring, as you can imagine, and diamond painting. I mean, I am never bored. You know, it just cracks me up when kids will say, I'm so bored. You know, Jaden will say that once in a while, especially when he's grounded off electronics. I'm so bored. So you typically tell them what your mother or father told you. Well, I'll find you something to do. You won't be bored. I don't want to do that. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Anything you suggest to them, they don't want to do. Stuff they typically would do on their own, but if you suggest it, I don't want to do that. Well, then come clean with me. No. Why would I want to do that? So yeah, kids can get so bored so easy these days if they don't have their tablet or their phone in front of their faces, right? Or Xbox or PS3 or whatever other platform that they're playing on. It's all an electronics age, and so, I mean, in my day and age, we hear that all the time, right? In my day, we had no electronics. There was no such thing as a cell phone. Boy, I am dating myself here. You know, there was no such thing as a computer. When I was in high school, there were only a couple of electric typewriters. They weren't all, I mean, there were manual, the majority, let's turn back this way. The majority of them were all manual typewriters yet. Yes, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, there were not computers, there were not cell phones, there were not iPads. Kids nowadays just, they can't, and I suppose they can't imagine what it was like before this because they grow up with it out of the womb. I mean, they're typically on iPads from the age of before they're 6 months, which in some respects can be good. They, in this day and age, they have to be exposed to it. Look at how many of our kids' textbooks now are no longer books. They are on iPads. That's why sometimes you will see many iPads for sale on eBay because the schools are upgrading their iPads to either a newer version or a higher storage or something. So somebody buys up all the old iPads and sells them, probably at huge profit on eBay. But even if they are making a huge profit, that is how I did get one of my iPads for the grandkids. And yes, it is an older iPad. I think it is a first or second generation. It is quite slow. I got it at an extremely good price. Does not have much storage, but didn't need a whole lot. It's mainly Maddie that uses it to watch her Minnie Mouse, and she's got some little games she'll play. She likes to dress up these girls, and you can put makeup on them and change the color of their hair and cut their hair. And one is with a kitty, and you can clip its nails and give it a bath and rinse it off and dry it off. It's really cute. And yeah, she loves those games. That one with the kitty, though, where you clip its nails, then you can even paint its toenails, and you pick out the color of the polish and everything. It's unreal what they have out there now for little ones. So yeah, she's not just watching videos. I do have some learning apps on there for her too. So we're still working on the colors, although she pretty much knows her colors now, but we've been working on counting, and I want to start her on the ABCs because we have not been working on that much, and I don't think Heather works a whole lot with her at home yet on that. I know, you know, to an extent she is, but so yeah, seeing as how she's at Grandma's house all day, every day during the week, well, Monday through Thursday, I want to work with her too on some of that stuff when she's got a little bit of sit in her butt. They don't sit for very long, do they? They're pretty rambunctious yet at that age. Do any of you have small children or grandchildren yet? If so, how old? Inquiring minds want to know. You know, and you know, when they say, you know, grandkids are just so much more fun than your kids were, well, yeah, it is kind of true. Due to the fact that when you're raising your kids, you typically have a lot going on. You typically are working full-time, or you are a full-time mom, which is not easy either. Like I said in past videos, I could not imagine being a full-time mom when I was younger. Because as much as I loved my kids, it was kind of nice to be away from them for a few hours. You know, even if it was to be at work. And yeah, you needed 2 incomes, but and I hope that doesn't sound bad, but you do sometimes need a break from your kids. So yeah, my hat's off to any of you that are full-time stay-at-home parents. I shouldn't just say moms, because there are more and more dads who are staying home now, and the woman has the career, which I think is awesome. That reversal of the roles you're, you know, hearing more and more about. Or the dads are doing the laundry, dads are doing the cooking, and that's great. I think it's awesome. Some of the women are doing some of the outside work. Like me, I love, like I said in other videos, I love mowing the lawn. I do not want Bob mowing the lawn. And yes, it is with a walk behind push mower. Not a rider, because that is cheating. I can say that because I don't have a whole ton of lawn. I have a big backyard, but not a whole lot on the sides, and a nice size front yard, but nothing huge. Here in town, I have like a third of an acre, so I mean it's a nice size lot. But yeah, it's just so nice to get outside, mow that lawn, have it look so nice, get exercise at the same time. It smells so good. I love the smell of fresh cut lawn. Nothing like it. Oh, really is making me yearning for spring now. Springtime, summertime cannot come soon enough. It's only one downfall, and that's the fact that summer just goes by way too fast, and before you know it, it's fall again. And that's why I have a hard time enjoying fall. I know it's pretty and everything, but it's kind of depressing for me because I know what's coming next, and that does kind of affect me. Some of it, I think, is the seasonal, you know, the SAD, seasonal affective disorder, because of the lack of sunlight. And I've heard others out there who have talked about this too. I believe I have some of that too. And just the fact, you know, you can't get outside and enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine, and, you know, everybody's cooped up. Except for the snow enthusiasts, the snowmobilers, the skiers. They are probably just having a heyday this winter. I think it was in my last color along I talked about all the snowmobilers that you can hear sledding out north of town here. Just one after another, especially when it's a nice weekend like we had last weekend. Oh my gosh. It was, yeah, just one sled after another. Because you can just, even though it's north of town, because I'm up on top of the hill here, you can hear them really easy up here. And sometimes see them, even though the highway is a mile to the north. You can see the 4-lane highway from here sometimes, and the traffic going by on it. So yeah, I am sure all those people are extremely happy, as well as the ski hill. They did not have to make much snow at all this winter, except for the base. And we're able to open in November already because of how cold of a November we had. I don't know if they've ever been able to open in November. That was extremely early for them. And of course then we got warmer temperatures, but by then they had their base snow packed down, so, you know, then it doesn't bother if it gets warmer. Yeah, they'll lose some of it, but typically once a ski hill gets open, they have such a thick snow-covered base that if some melts, it's... Now, if it continues to stay warm, yeah, I guess, you know, that would be a bit bigger of a problem. So what are you thinking of Mr. Sneaky Snake, huh? Let's see, we've been at it almost an hour. I was hoping this would only take, well, I knew it was going to take over an hour because last night when I did, I forgot which one of those, where I colored in the shapes and the back. Oh, I think it was the blue and the green one. I didn't time how long it took me to do the shapes, and I should have. but I kind of timed how long it took me to do the background, and the background alone took me about an hour. So I knew that the shapes themselves took longer than an hour. Because, yeah, these are a little more time consuming than just going around all the shapes with the lighter color. Now, if you were to do it the opposite way and do the background, the darker color, and the shapes a lighter color, then I would do the background first. I always do the darker color first, because then, like I said in the beginning of this video, when you come back with the lighter color, you don't have to be quite so careful. Like when I come in with the light pink, if I go over, you know, this a little bit, you're not going to be able to tell that. So you don't have to be quite so exact as right now when I'm doing this dark color. And yes, I have been going out of the lines here and there, and it's been driving me crazy. I just haven't said anything. I figure you guys won't notice anyhow, because you're probably coloring your own picture. So anytime I would go out of the line and say, oops, that's when you guys would look up. What'd she do? That's what I do sometimes when I'm watching ColorTube. You're just coloring along until somebody makes, you know, the YouTuber makes a comment like, oh, shoot, didn't mean to do that. Or, you know, that's when you look up like, what? Right? Or am I the only one? No, I think we all do that. So that's why I haven't said anything. I think a lot of us are perfectionists when it comes to our coloring, and we really shouldn't be. And I tell myself that all the time. You know, it is what it is. If it's not perfect, you know, the world is not going to come to an end. It is a coloring book page. But yet, myself don't like to listen to me. It argues. And it says, yeah, but I want it to be perfect. Which, of course, is impossible in and of itself. There's no way to have it perfect. There is no such thing, right? So yeah, we have to learn to be more accepting of our coloring and however it looks. I still see comments from subscribers out there, and you know who you are, that say, you know, something to the effect of, you know, maybe one of these days I'll share my coloring, or, you know, I'm just not comfortable, you know, sharing anything on Facebook, or, you know, and that is just so sad. There is nothing special about me coloring either. There really isn't. And no, we're not all going to be these fantabulous colorists like you see on Facebook. I mean, they can get extremely intimidating to look at. I am not denying that in the least. Some of them are just, I mean, they are artists in and of themselves. There is no doubt about it, because when they put color down on paper and they are just, you know, doing all sorts of things to that picture, the blending, the shading, the layering, the enhancements that they put down, you know, and thinking outside the box. That's one of the problems I have, is thinking outside the box. When I'm done with a picture and stuff, what can I do to enhance it? I typically don't do a lot of that, you know, and so these people who, and those of you out there, and you know who you are, who think your coloring is not good enough, there is no such thing. There is no such thing as coloring that is not good enough. You're not doing this to impress other people. Yes, I mean, it's nice to get great comments on your coloring that you post, but it is supposed to be for your enjoyment, for stress relief, for all of those things. And that's why I try not to get too stressed out about the fact that I love my gel pens. And now I love straight coloring with markers. Am I doing anything fantastic with them? No. I mostly straight color, especially, and you've probably heard many of us talk about this, those Jade Summer Grayscale books. Oh my heavens. I've mentioned it in past videos. If you wanted to try grayscale but was afraid to, oh, by all means, go get one of those books. They just came out with a new one. We're all so excited. They had a Chibi's Girl grayscale book, and that was, I think, all of us. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think it was the majority of us, I should say, our favorite grayscale book that they came out with. It was just so darn cute. So when we heard that Nick from Jade Summer, part owner, he said that they were going to be coming out with more grayscale books this year. We're like jumping up and down. And then earlier this month, was it last week? Yeah, I think last week they came out with their new grayscale book, which was a 2-in-1 book. So it had the pictures, the grayscale pictures from Chibi 1, and they had a line art book out called Chibi 2. And we were all telling them, you know, it would be great if you could make this into a grayscale book, and they did. And the book that they came out with, like I said, is 2 books in 1. They did include all of the grayscale images from Chibi's 1, Chibi Girls, and then the entire book from Chibi Girls 2 was made grayscale and put into this book. Typically, if you're not aware, for those few of you that do not have any Jade Summer books, they always include 2 images of each picture. And this particular book, because it's 2 books in 1, it is just the 1 image of each. So typically they have 25 images of each picture, and then they duplicate them in the back, so there are a total of 50 pictures. But because, again, this is 2 books in 1, it is 50 separate pictures. And I was fine with the fact that they repeated Chibi Girls 1 in this book, even though I had the grayscale Chibi Girls 1, because they're just so darn cute. I can color them again now. So that's okay. We are really hoping, I don't know if, you know, I'm sure not everybody, but many of you might be aware of some of Jade Summer books. And they have one called Kawaii Girls and anime. They have an anime book out. Especially the Kawaii Girls would just be absolutely adorable in grayscale. It's kind of along the same lines as the Chibi Girls, but yeah, the pictures are so cute. Even the line art pictures are adorable. So I can just imagine what that would look like in grayscale. And then they have a vampire grayscale book. They have light and dark fantasy in 1. That is a grayscale book, and those are beautiful too. All their grayscale books are just awesome. They are the easiest type of grayscale book to color. And some grayscale books can be very intimidating and can be kind of hard. You know, when you hear of grayscale, You know, and everybody says, you know, how easy it is. And while that can be true, because it definitely helps with your shading and you don't have to worry about that part of it quite so much, some of those grayscale books get extremely detailed. And what I find hardest, and this may not be the case for everybody, some of those grayscale books have very blurred out backgrounds. And so the image in the front is nice and crisp and clean. But the image in the background is very blurred out so that it looks like a background. I mean, it makes sense. But to me, the blurry part is extremely hard. It's a lot harder to color than the, you know, the part of the picture that's nice and crisp and clean. And like I said, maybe it's just me. But those kind of pictures intimidate me, and I have a number of grayscale books, especially flower grayscale books, because I love flowers and coloring flowers. Well, a number of the grayscale books that I have for flowers, yes, the flowers are beautiful, but it's that grayed out background that intimidates me, that gets kind of hard. I think I'm getting to the end of my purple. I'm surprised it lasted this long. Looks like there's some in there yet though, so. It's the only downfall of having this grippy, whatever you guys want to call it, the cushion on these types of gel pens. Yes, it does make it much more comfortable to color with, and I do prefer them with this on. But it also covers up where the ink barrel inside, so you have a hard time seeing how far down your ink is. But that's okay. We'll take this cushion grip over the non-grip ones. And I have a number of those sets too. And I like them too. Future videos, I do plan on going over, I know I did a general overview of my recording area and where all my coloring supplies are, but I didn't go into detail at all. So I thought I would do another little mini series of what all pencils do I have, and another one with what all markers do I have. And then I don't know if gel pens would be by itself or not, because I mean, yes, I have a number of different brands, but what can you all say about it? I don't know. I'll have to see. And then, but there are a lot of miscellaneous coloring supplies too, and there's watercolor, you know, type of mediums, and so I'm gonna have to kind of play with that and work it out and see what I want to do. And yes, this is running out. One moment while I switch it out with the one that I picked out. Easy as that, and we're back in business. So where was I? Before my gel pencil rudely interrupted me. Boy, the furnace just turned off and it got so quiet in here all of a sudden because the TV's not on, and all I can hear outside is wind is just a howling. My heavens. Okay, what else can we talk about? So this is Sunday for me. I'm not sure when I'm going to be publishing this, when I'm going to be getting it up on YouTube. Sometime this week, obviously. tomorrow, well, I guess it doesn't pay for me to mention it. I was going to say, keep in mind, tonight is the last night to enter for the Sunlife drawing giveaway, but by the time you see this, I will have recorded the winner to that giveaway, so I guess it doesn't pay to even mention that. Oh, hit me over here. Told you I flipped my book every which way. Looks like this purple is just a teens off from that purple, but if you notice that, see, now if I wouldn't have said anything, you guys wouldn't have picked your head up and you wouldn't have even looked, right? But yeah, I think it is just a little bit different, but that's okay. We have a snake that has two different colored purples in them. He wanted to be a little different than your typical purple snake that you see out in the wild. If anybody has ever seen a purple snake, let me know. I would want him for my pet. Because as I've said in the past, I love purple. Seems we all have our preferences, and so some people are gaga over blue. Some people just love greens and pinks, or, you know, whatever. I have a tendency of going for the bright colors. I do not like the darker color, like brown. I am not a fan of brown, or, you know, even like deep blue, or, although some deep blue colors are beautiful, don't get me wrong, especially when you get into the greenish blue colors. Oh, very pretty here. Aquamarines and teals. Those are really, really pretty, and I like them. But I typically like the bright colors, or else pastel type colors, like mint green and peach and light pink. I just love those colors too. Lilac, real, you know, pastel purple are just gorgeous. Another reason to like spring, because right around springtime and Easter comes out all those pretty pastel colored clothes, and, you know, you just see all them pretty pastel colors everywhere. The Easter Bunny brings pastel colored stuff. I didn't even look to see when Easter is this year. You know, it's so hard for those holidays that, you know, like Christmas is December 25th. You know, you always know when that one is. 4th of July is 4th of July. Thanksgiving, at least you know, is always the 4th Thursday of the month. May not know the specific day, but you know it's always the 4th Thursday of the month. Now, Easter, on the other hand, that's not the case. So, did anybody make, I think maybe I asked this in a past video, did anybody make any New Year's resolutions, and are you still sticking by those New Year's resolutions? You know, they say the most popular New Year's resolution is to lose weight. Get to the gym and lose weight. Or else, you know, even if it's not to lose weight, to get into shape. And we're always so good with those New Year's resolutions in the beginning, aren't we? And then sometimes if you don't see results immediately, or at least not the results you want, it's like, you start losing steam by February, if even that long. It's kind of funny how the number of gym memberships spike and go through the roof the beginning of January. And then by the end of January into February, it really drops off again. It's like, well, people at least had good intentions, right? It's hard to do. Before I started babysitting, I went to the gym every single day. During the week, anyhow. Not weekends. But I went to the gym for an hour and a half every day. And half hour with weights or the weight machines, either free weights or the weight machines. And my own weight, doing the plank and, you know, squats and things like that. And then half hour on the treadmill and half hour on the recumbent bike. And so it was a very, very good workout. And I always felt so good by the time I got out of there. I didn't enjoy the weight part of it as much, you know, the lifting the weights. I knew it was really good for me, and I was getting very strong. I was getting it doing the plank longer and longer, and I was up to like 2 minutes and lifting more and more weight on the weight machines. But I especially enjoyed the cardio. I loved plugging in my music. I had music set up where I would, on the treadmill, I would walk to the beat of the music, which to me made a huge difference. If I could walk to the beat of the songs that I was listening to and it was at the right beats per minute. So I specifically got music, and I had an app where you could adjust the BPM of the song to the speed that you wanted. And I'm not sure at this point what I think there's a couple of apps in the App Store similar to that. But yeah, I would do that. And then I also had a couple of songs or a couple of speeds for on the stationary bike. I always did a warm-up song where I just kind of pedaled slower, didn't have any of the tension on yet, so it was, or not as much tension, I should say. And then, after that initial song, I would speed way up and pedal, 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 pedal for half an hour. And yes, I would get drenching wet, but that always felt good because it made me feel like I accomplished something. And this was after I had my bariatric surgery, so it really went hand in hand with losing the weight that I did by going to the gym every day and staying very consistent with that. Very little things, very few things, I should say, got in the way of me going to the gym and getting my workout in. It's like you do become addicted to it. It is just part of your schedule. How long did they do they say it takes to create a habit? Is it 5 weeks or something like that? So it's at least a good habit to get into. And that was when I was working part-time yet as a paralegal, so then I would go to the gym after work, change out of my dress clothes and into my gym workout clothes, my tannies and all of that. I had wireless headphones that I plugged in. Well, if it's wireless, you don't plug them in, do you? Duh. I attached via Bluetooth to my phone, and yeah, I was ready to go. And then when my part-time job went full-time and I was no longer working and then started babysitting, I no longer got to the gym. And because I am not a morning person, there's no way that I could get up and go to the gym before Maddie would get here. Especially when she was little, because you know, if I put in a workout like that and then had to babysit all day, I know some of you that are workout junkies are like, why couldn't you do that? I just don't think I could. My oldest sister is a marathon runner. She ran her first marathon this past summer. And so she typically runs 10 to 15 miles every morning before work without fail. And I'm like, oh my heavens. And this girl is 11 years older than I am. And does not look it in the least. So yeah, we're all like, oh, I don't know how you do it. So yeah, there was a marathon race up near her in New York. It was not the Boston Marathon, or else New York had a big marathon too. It was not those big marathon races, but they had an app that you could download on your phone. Oh no, it wasn't an app. It was just a website where you logged in the person's name, or if you knew their number, their race number, you could put that in, and you could follow them along the race. It was really cool. It would kind of give you an estimation of how far they've come, how far they have to go, what their estimated time of arrival is, about how long it's taking them to finish the race, just all kinds of stats, what their speed is, average speed is at that point, what their fastest mile was. I mean, it just gave you all these stats, and then you could watch, you could zoom in, and you could just watch as she went along the trail. It was really cool. Hi, Misty. You gonna come help me color? As I was doing my diamond painting video this morning, like I mentioned, oh, Misty, don't shake there. She making you guys sick? I didn't see she was rubbing on my phone. No, baby. No. Go down there. Thank you. Oh, I got fur on my hand. Don't come back. Yeah, sit over there. Now what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I had, where am I at now, Misty? You got me all off center. I had my desk piled high because of recording a diamond painting video last night that, like I said, ended up not turning out. And I had just left all the diamond painting stuff on my desk because I wanted to record it sometime today again, at least that first part. And because it was stacked so high, I had to do it first before I could do any of these videos so that I could make room. And so I'm going about doing that video. So sorry, Misty, I'm hitting you, huh? Where am I at? See, you really threw me off center. I was doing good, Misty. Nope, I'm way off. There we go. And this is without being zoomed in too far. I was doing that video and Misty hops up on my, I have a side desk over here with my printers and whatnot on. She jumps up over there where I had some of my diamond painting trays and storage and all of that, and boom, all goes. And not on this side of my desk, of course, it had to be on the other side. So when I was showing some of the diamond painting trays, the different types and whatnot, I couldn't show them all because they were on the other side of the desk that I couldn't get to. Not while I was recording anyhow. Ha, Misty's sitting up here just a purring. She's like, yep, I did that. But you still love me. Oh, Bob is frying some hamburgers. It smells so good. He likes to take cheeseburgers along for lunch at work. And so sometimes he'll buy himself some hamburger and fry some up if I'm busy doing something else. Like doing this. So yeah, I think it's after 1 already, so yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry too. Not quite sure what I'm going to have, but he's definitely making me hungry smelling that. And I'm not even a big hamburger eater. I'm not a big meat eater in general. We're at about an hour and a half. So yes, we will finish this purple part of our snake. We don't have too much more to go. Not sure when I will get to part 2. Like I said, tomorrow morning, seeing as how this is Sunday, tomorrow morning I will be drawing the winner of the Sunlife Drawing Mandala book. And again, that is open to all subscribers. And then Wednesday, and again, I'm not sure of the order of these videos. I think this one should be up before Wednesday. My 500 subscriber winner will be drawn Wednesday morning. So you do have until Tuesday night at midnight Central Standard Time here in the States to enter that giveaway, and you must follow the instructions in the video. I even stress it in the video that in my prior giveaways, people have not been complying by what I ask for in the video, and it's not much. I do not ask for much. But many times now, it still is happening, where people are not doing what they need to do to be included in the giveaway. And up to this point, because I do my giveaways a little bit differently than others, but it makes life so much easier to do the giveaways this way. There is no manual keeping track of anything. It is just all automated. And so that is why I run my giveaways the way I do. And so yeah, you do have to follow the video in order to be entered. Now, for those that have tried entering the giveaway and have not followed the directions, I can kind of tell whether you truly are a subscriber of mine, because I've seen your name before. And if you just, forget to, do the one main thing I ask for in the video, I kind of let it slide, and I will prompt you to, please do this in order to be entered in the giveaway. However, there are some out there, and I think I talked about this in a previous video too, that just hop channels and are just looking for giveaways. They do searches for giveaways, quickly subscribe just to enter the giveaway, and then once the giveaway winner is announced, they are gone. So that's why our subscriber numbers increase after a giveaway is announced, and why our numbers go back down once the winner is announced. And it's sad. It's sad that people do that. You know, these giveaways, as I stated, and I don't want to harp on it too much again or go into it too much in this video, but it kind of irritates me that people are just hopping channels for the giveaways. Those giveaways are meant for my subscribers, for you guys, to give you guys chances to win stuff. That's what those giveaways are for, and that's why I hold them, especially the ones that are celebrating my milestones. Like this last one of 500 subscribers. I am just ecstatic over that. And now I hit 600. So my next giveaway for subscriber count will be 750. I am already thinking about what I'm going to be doing for that giveaway, so I don't know what I'll be doing for 1,000 subscribers yet, because I think I have a ways to go before I have to worry about that one. But again, I do thank each and every one of you for subscribing, for liking my videos. For those of you who have bought things through my Amazon affiliate links that I leave in the description, I thank you very much for doing that. Because each product bought, each item bought on Amazon through those affiliate links, does give me a few pennies in my pocket, and that allows me to try out additional products and review them on the channel. So yeah, anything bought through them helps me. And like I think I said this in a previous video too, and I never knew this. Even if you click on those links and you don't buy that particular product, you can buy anything and it helps that person out. So from now on, when I buy something from Amazon, I will, okay Lisa, get it with the program. I will typically take turns through some of the channels that I'm subscribed to that I know has an affiliate link, and I will purchase through them so that they can make a little bit off of it. And no, we don't make much money off of it at all. It's not why we're doing these videos, believe me. We do it because of you guys. You make our day with all of your kind words, all of your encouragement, and that's what I hope we can bring back to you, is encouragement and saying, yeah, go for this, yeah, go for that. Ooh, and I'm doing bad here. Yeah, try this, or if you want to see a flip through, or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'd be happy to do that for you. Help you make up your mind if you want that book, or if there's any type of marker or pencil you would like me to try and review, if it's in my power and my budget, I can do that. So yeah, keep the suggestions coming. I have a lot of videos in the works. Well, the ideas anyhow. One is to finish my series on diamond painting. I think it's only going to be like 3 videos. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a whole mini-series. A whole season's worth to watch. Not like my coloring book collection, which was 7 parts. Bet you didn't think that was going to come to an end, did you? Oh my. Every time I published one of those parts, when I made one of those videos live, I'm like, I bet you these people are wondering, oh my heavens, is this ever going to end? Yeah. And yet I got so many awesome comments from you guys. Made me not feel quite so bad about how many coloring books I do have. But I can take about 100 of them off now, because I had stated in one of my coloring book collection videos, when I was showing all my leisure art books, that whole big collection of almost 100 books, I did sell that set. So that has to come back out of the app that I use to keep track of my coloring book collection, and that, speaking of which, is another video that I want to do in the near future to show you what I use that very easily keeps track of all your books. To add the book to your collection, all you do is you add it, you hit this scan button, and all you got to do is, well, first allow access to your camera, but it just scans the ISBN number on the back, usually on the back anyhow. And especially if it's from Amazon, it automatically knows what book it is, it knows the publisher, it knows the author, it knows how long it is. It has the front cover artwork. It has, I mean, it has it all. And so, you know, 99% of my books, maybe not quite that much, but okay, 95 of my books are all bought on Amazon. So it is the easiest thing in the world to add to this app. And fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, it keeps a count of how many books you have input in there. And it will also keep track of your digital books. So that's another nice feature. You can also have it, and this is how I have my Jade Summer books set up, with both a hard copy and a digital copy, because as most of you are aware, Jade Summers, when you bought a hard copy, a physical copy of their book, they also gave you a code in the back of the book where you could download a PDF version. So that's awesome. And I really, really miss the fact that they no longer have an Etsy shop, and so they no longer are offering any PDF versions of their coloring books. What a bummer. But yeah, this app will let you input that too, as far as what format that particular book is in. So yeah, it's a really neat app. And again, that is, I have so many ideas for upcoming videos, and right now what I have been trying to do is get some of them off my short-term to-do list, some requests by you, my subscribers. When I get a request for a flip-through, or you want this or that, I try to do those as soon as I can, within the next week, if possible. Depending on when I get the request, I could possibly do it right away if it's, you know, I get it like on a Thursday or a Friday when I have the time to make the video. Otherwise, if it's during the week, sometimes I can make it in the morning before Maddie gets here. Like tomorrow morning, I will have to make the video for the Sunlife drawing, or the Sunlife drawing book giveaway winner. And so sometimes, yeah, sometimes I will make a video in the morning before Maddie even gets here. So I can do that sometimes. It depends on how involved and how long of a video it would need to be. If it is just a flip through of, you know, a couple books, I can easily get that done in the morning. But if it's a more involved type of video, then it probably will have to wait till a Friday or a weekend where I have more time to record. And it's not just the recording that takes the time, as I have mentioned in the past, and other color tubers have probably talked about. What actually takes the time is the editing, the saving, the rendering, the uploading to YouTube. That all takes hours and hours. So yeah, if it's a short video, just a short quick flip through, those videos don't take that long even to edit and save. You know, those upload quite quickly. It's these long, you know, longer color and chats, or to do videos, you know, things that get a little bit longer. But I'm not saying I don't like to make them, because I do. I like gabbing with you guys. And yeah, I plan on making a number of these videos, and I will intersperse then with these color and chats the other videos that I have in mind. Of course, the one, like I had mentioned, is going to be the other couple of diamond painting videos. And then I did have a request from a subscriber to get up my pan pastels. Now that I have all of the sets, I do want to start playing with them some more. I think, I can't remember what video it was in, I had shown the picture that I was it was my first attempt at playing with the skin tones in the pan pastels, and at that point I didn't have the extra dark tone or color that I needed, and so my picture was not coming out like how I wanted it. I think I actually have it here. Excuse me, Misty. Don't smear my picture. Off, baby. Off, baby, off. Yeah, this is the one that I'm doing. And yeah, I don't mind how her arm came out. Don't like how her face came out. I erased some in here because I want to put pink cheeks in. But yeah, this is my playing around with pan pastels for the first time. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the hair, but we shall see. I don't know when I'm going to get back to playing with that. I played around with that for a while on, I think it was Friday night, just to see what I could do. You know, playing with this, that, and the other thing. I was following the color suggestions that Dee Dee Willingham was using. She colors quite a bit with pan pastels. Well, she colors with everything and does an amazing job with anything and everything that she touches. She is incredible. Well, she is an artist. She does pet portraits in Prismacolor. And she is, well, not just pets, she does people too, and she is just incredible. So if you have not heard of her, go check out her channel. She is amazing. So yeah, I was trying to follow some of the colors that she was showing as she was doing a gal in a coloring book. And yeah, hers, of course, looked much better than mine, due to inexperience, but also the fact that I didn't have the colors that I needed that she had. So I will be doing some more playing around, but a lot of it is going to just be on camera because, well, as I told the subscriber that wanted to see more of the pan pastels, we will learn together. So I just played that little bit with the pan pastels. So we'll see what we can do with them. And then one other video, and I'm not sure if this will just be a one video. I think it will, because I'm not going to go into too much detail because you can check out her channel. But it is a new coloring series that this gal is doing with a system that she came up with for Prismacolor, and now she included Polychromos, and she is going to include Derwent. I don't know if that's out there yet, and I'm not sure which Derwent. I would love it if it was Color Soft, because that's what I have. Let's bring you back out. And then one other type of pencil, and I'm not sure if it was Luminance, possibly. Anyhow, that's another video that I want to do, so stay tuned for all of them. We got our snake done. Well, at least the purple parts. Now, again, the pink is going to go much, much faster. And yes, you can see this purple is a different purple than what's on his head. So, he's a bi-colored snake, right? And then we'll put the pink in the background. So, I will leave it at this for this video. It's getting long enough. It's about 1 hour and 45 minutes now, so it got a little bit longer than what I thought. But again, this is from Sunlife Drawing's newest book, One Color Animal Stencils. I will leave a link down below for this book, as well as the gel pens and the refills that I've been using, the Color Technique. I will link Zoe Archer's and Color Creatively's YouTube channels down below. They are in the February collaboration for Sunlife Drawing, if you didn't already know. So, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day, rest of their weekend. You'll probably be seeing this when it's during the week, so I hope your work week is going well. And as always, happy coloring.